Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. This is sort of a chilly, sort of a brisk morning here in San Juan County. It's the 13th of October, 2024, and this is coming to you from Fellowship of Spirit in Farmington, New Mexico. And we are absolutely happy that you are with us and that you will enjoy all of the message and the songs and the fellowship that we have for you. So, as far as for announcements, we need to keep announcing that the first meeting in November will be our reunion Sunday. We intend to invite as many people as we could possibly get here for the service and for the potluck afterwards, and we have activities planned that everyone will find enjoyable and rewarding. So we're hoping that you will come and be with us the first Sunday in November. I'm not sure of the date, but it's the first Sunday in November. Is there any more announcements? We have an announcement about the books. Are y'all have you done that already?
Did you ask Margaret about George?
I have not, no. No. Okay, do you have some information for us about George?
Well, George showed up at Power of Eight Thursday, and he stayed the whole time.
On Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he said he talked a little bit about the auto accident. It involved something where he was turning left, and I don't know what happened, but he got hit, and I guess the car was totaled, but he looked okay. So it was good to see that he's able to be part of Power of Eight again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, well, that was great. So George was in a car wreck.
Yeah.
And the car was totaled, but George is all right. That's the bottom line. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And his son is with him, so I think there's some concerns. He said he's on his 6th urinary tract infection. So sounds like something's not getting totally cleared up before they stop the
treatment.
antibiotic,
Yeah.
so.
Well, thank you, Margaret.
We also asked Shaye about our book giveaway yesterday.
What about our book giveaway yesterday? That's what I was wondering if we had it or we're going to have it.
We had the book giveaway yesterday, and we had advertised it on Craigslist and Marketplace and in the newspaper, and we had 2 people come. But they took a lot of books and had a really nice conversation with them. They're just new to town, and so had a good time.
So it was successful. It was just a small magnitude. Is that correct?
So we need to bounce around ideas of what to do with the rest of the books and go from here.
All right. Thank you. And we are extremely happy to have Don and Neva with us in-house this morning, not on Zoom. And we're glad that you feel good enough to come, and we're just delighted to see you. We can get hugs from you, and we have done so already, and we intend to get some more. So we're just glad that you're with us, Don.
Glad to join you today.
All right. So, without further ado, we're going to start with our prelude from Margaret. And it is I Asked the Lord by Johnny Lang and Jimmy Duncan, played by Margaret Cheesebro. Thank you, Margaret. That was wonderful. Not being familiar with the music, I thought she was done. She has a little change in there, and I thought she was finished, but she was not. She had a lot more beautiful music to follow. So, today, we're going to have Susan Barnes is going to pray for us. Shaye Johnson is going to be our main speaker, and she's got a wonderful message to come to us. Margaret Cheesebro is playing our music, and Kate is going to be our spiritual reader. I'm Ron Holloway, and I'll be your moderator. So, you're on, Susan. Susan Barnes from Belize is going to pray for us.
Good morning, and it's so nice to be here one more time. So let us take a deep breath, close our eyes, and feel that creative spirit flow in through that crown chakra and down through the body, filling each and every cell. Creator, Mother, Father, God, we give thanks for this day, for all that you bring, the sunshine, the rain, for all of the good people that you bring to us and surround us with. We ask that we are enabled to be that spirit of light and go forth and show people, not just talk to them, but we want to show people what unconditional love is, what acceptance is, what compassion is. And we ask that these traits be filled in our minds and our bodies and our souls, so that we may be channels of blessings to all. And we give thanks knowing that you will nourish us through our food, and you will heal us of all of our illnesses and our disabilities, and seeing the oneness of all creation. We give thanks, Creator, that we can be expressions of you in every way. And this we say, Namaste.
Okay, thank you, Susan. And now we have another song, Love is a Magnet.
Riches and good without end, freely and for
Okay, so now we're gonna do our reflection moment. Love produces a flow of energy that I now feel. I love others more than ever, and I feel privileged to be here. Love flows from one person to another as we create an atmosphere of holiness, and so it is. Okay, so Kate, are you ready?
Morning, everyone. I'm reading from the Daily Stoic, and today's is October 13th. Revenge is a dish best not served. The best way to avenge yourself is to not be like that. Marcus Aurelius, Meditations. How much better to heal than seek revenge from injury? Vengeance wastes a lot of time and exposes you to many more injuries than the first that sparked it. Anger always outlasts hurt. Best to take the opposite course. Would anyone think it normal to return a kick to a mule or bite to a dog? That's from Seneca on anger. Let's say that someone has treated you rudely. Let's say someone got promoted ahead of you because they took credit for your work or did something dishonest. It's natural to think, oh, that's how the world works, or one day it will be my turn to be like that, or most common, I'll get them for this. Except these are the worst possible responses to bad behavior. As Marcus and Seneca both wrote, the proper response, indeed the best revenge, is to exact no revenge at all. If someone treats you rudely and you respond with rudeness, you have not done anything but prove to them that they were justified in their actions. If you meet other people's dishonesty with dishonesty of your own, guess what? You're proving them right. Now everyone is a liar. Instead, today, let's seek to be better than the things that disappoint or hurt us. Let's try to be the example we'd like others to follow. It's awful to be a cheat, to be selfish, to feel the need to inflict pain on our fellow human beings. Meanwhile, living morally and well is quite nice.
Thank you, Kate.
Thank you for that reminder.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the old deal about drinking poison and hoping that the other person will die. Doesn't make sense. Okay. So now we have another song. God always helps, number 112 in the Brown Book.
Trials seem too hard to beat, when thoughts
Thank you, Margaret. Okay. Shaye Johnson is a wonderful young woman, and she's going to bring us a wonderful message today. It's entitled "Learning Self-Love," and so we're excited to hear from her, and so let's just go right to it. What?
Need that?
Do you want this one, Shaye?
No. I want Ron's.
Ron's got the goodies.
I'm willing to share.
Thank you. Okay. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, my topic today is something I'm currently learning. I share it with you, knowing that some of you have done this work for some time and have found healing. I also know that some people are struggling to love themselves right now, and it is to them that this speech is directed. However, if you're one of those individuals who have already learned self-love, every one of us can learn to unconditionally love ourselves a bit more or a lot more. Yes? Mm-hmm. And perhaps you know someone else who is at the beginning of their self-love journey who you can share my message with. I also want to say that I'm going to be sharing some pretty personal things today. And you may think I feel sorry for myself. But I have learned a different way of seeing life. I believe in a metaphysical connectedness between all of us on a soul level. I believe that we charted the lives we're living right now before we were born, along with every major relationship and theme. Major events were agreed upon between both parties in advance. Therefore, only love and perfection exists. I'll talk about what might seem like an extreme point of view more later on. In the meantime, I want to address the person who knows they have a problem with self-hatred. Think of what I'm saying today as an unlearning process. You have to let go of what exists before you can embrace something new. If learning self-love feels airy-fairy to you, start with where you are. Sometimes looking into the face of negativity is necessary. Sometimes surgery is required to cut out what doesn't belong. Then you can begin the process of learning self-love. The ideas I'm presenting today are a door you can walk through. It's the beginning of a journey that can take months or years, but it is well worth the effort because transformation is possible. I just mentioned surgery. If there was something inside you that could be cut out to help you stop hating yourself, what would it be?
My ego.
There is actually something inside most of us that doesn't belong. It could be called an alien presence in our minds. Author Janine Roth calls it the voice. I'll talk about her book more here in a few minutes. For now, let's talk about what the voice is. It's the internal voice that speaks to us in moments of self-judgment. For those of us with self-hatred, it's very prevalent. And I confess, I hated myself for a long time. My internal voice told me that I was defective, lazy, not to be trusted. I was a screw up. I needed to punish myself for mistakes I made, for existing, that everything wrong in my life was my fault, and that nothing would change because I couldn't change. Does that sound familiar to you? Maybe it's all too familiar, and the voice beats you over the head relentlessly. Perhaps it doesn't. Perhaps it would help you to remember the last time you were angry with yourself. What did the voice have to say to you then? Whether or not you hear the voice in your head constantly, ask yourself this. Have I always been this way? Have I always thought of myself like this? Think back. Probably that voice is saying something to you that your mother told you, or someone else. Probably it is a reaction to a formulative event in your early life. If you think back, you can see where it started, which means two things. Self-hatred is learned, not inherent. And you can remember a time before, a time of wonder and innocence. Remember for a moment what that felt like. Life was full of promise. Every new thing was enchanting. You were open, curious. If you can't remember, can you imagine what that felt like? What do you feel for this young, innocent version of yourself? Do you feel love? Is there any room for hate for that child? Feel for a moment the injustice of what happened to you, to that child. Someone was mean to them. The child believed what was said about them. They internalized the abusive, toxic views of others and became their own abusers. See the change as it comes over them. Feel the loss of innocence. Grieve for what happened to that child, to you. They feel true, don't they? Those beliefs about ourselves. The voice tells us that they've always been true and that they will never change, so there's no sense in trying. The consequences, however, for believing the voice are real. We continue self-destructive patterns or behaviors, like me wanting to punish myself, even going so far as trying to end my life. These behaviors are adding stress and grief to our lives. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to stop? Imagine being free from doing those things. How would your life be different? Would you look different? Would you be kind and calm? Would you be happy and loving? As you imagine what your life could be like, the voice may be whispering in your ear. Such change is impossible. Why are we even talking about this? And now you may be thinking about the knee-jerk reactions you have to life. Things pop into your mind and out of your mouth so fast that there's no opportunity to stop and evaluate. How do you stop reflexive, automatic reactions? Where do you even begin? Well, I'm glad you asked. Because I have some thoughts to share with you. The first step toward change, according to Louise Hay, author of You Can Heal Your Life, is just being willing. It is recognizing a change needs to be made and saying, I see that. I'm willing to change. That's all. That's all. Just sit with that intention for a few days. See everything in your life now that isn't working. See it for what it is. The beliefs about yourself that control your life, the grief and stress it adds, and say with each fresh realization, yes, I see that. I recognize it. I'm willing to change. When you react to a new circumstance and you feel bad afterwards, just say, I see what I just did. I'm willing to change. Change happens slowly and gradually. We can't overcome in one leap what took a lifetime to ingrain. Ever hear the expression, change your thinking, change your life? Yeah. You can't do it with the snap of your fingers. It takes deciding to try again and again, even after failing again and again. It takes determination and willingness to do one thing differently until it sticks. I'm coming back to author Janine Roth now. In her book, Women, Food, and God, she outlined a way to address the beliefs you have formed based on what your internal voice tells you. Whenever you have a question you want to explore, it could be, why do I feel angry right now? And you don't know what to do about it? Do the following. Go somewhere you can be alone and quiet for about 20 minutes. Sit with a pen and paper, then sit and become aware of your body. Notice everything. Describe sensations such as how you're sitting, how it feels to breathe, sensations like tingling, pulsing, tightening, warmth, coolness, the location of the sensations. How is the sensation making you feel? Physically, emotionally, mentally? Does the sensation bring to mind a memory, a particular emotion, a reaction? A memory is something that happened to you. A reaction is the story you're telling yourself about it. Write it all down. Allow yourself to experience the sensation, the emotion, and the reaction. Let it unfold without running away. Because you're not a child anymore that is going to be destroyed by something you can't control. As you do this writing exercise, you'll recognize the voice and what it's telling you. Name it, and by doing so, you will reduce its power over you. Disengage from it. Stop believing it. Tell it to back off even. Can you think of something true about yourself you can use to counteract what the voice is telling you? Maybe not right then. Maybe just saying, that's not true, and I'm willing to change what I believe. Maybe that's enough. Taking time to deconstruct the voice is critical. It's a personal process that I cannot fully address in this talk because what the voice tells you is unique to you, and it has layers of depth that takes time to uncover. You start with recognizing underlying beliefs, challenging their validity, and replacing them with new beliefs. Let's talk about some basic beliefs before we move on. For instance, who we are and where we come from. Our basic nature. Many of us were told that we are bad people, sinners, with a heart that cannot be trusted. How does this affect how we see ourselves? If I believe I'm a bad person, I believe I need to be rescued from myself, or I'm going to continue doing bad things. I don't trust my own instincts because I've been told they lead to death and hell. What if that isn't true, though? There's another tradition, and this is what I now believe, that says we are each spiritual beings that have a spark of the divine. We are human and imperfect, so we make mistakes, but our nature is good, loving. Our instincts, the inclinations of our hearts, lead us closer to our inherent godliness. How would this affect how we see ourselves? There's quite a difference, isn't there? One feels dark and threatening. The other feels light and open. Which do you prefer? The point of the talk is not to get you to believe what I believe. The point is to get you to a place where there's room to believe something new. Maybe the voice is a liar. Maybe you do have a choice. Maybe there is power to change. I said earlier what I came to believe about myself. I was self-destructive. As a result, I struggled with depression, anorexic tendencies, and thoughts of suicide. I ran away from my underlying beliefs. I tried to shut them off, to cut myself off from the anger and self-hatred I felt. To do this, I changed my name. I had pretended my past in the Independent Fundamental Baptist Church never existed. Depression and self-hatred never left me, however. They were buried, and they festered in my subconscious to the point that I did try to kill myself. I wanted to destroy the bad part of me so badly, but I could not separate it from the rest of me. That's because separating from it and destroying it is impossible. Over time, I learned I had to integrate with my past in order to be whole. I had to love and embrace myself, what I hated about myself, in order to feel peace. I had to learn to follow my heart in order to find God in myself. It is one thing to say I did it, and another to have lived it over several years. I just want you to know it's possible. You can do the same for yourself. Here are a couple books I recommend that helped me. Love is Letting Go of Fear by Gerald G. Jampolsky. It's a simple manual for personal transformation. It's short, easy to understand, and powerful. Also, I already mentioned it, You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Each chapter has exercises for addressing underlying beliefs and changing how we think about ourselves. I recommend working through the whole book rather than doing what I did, working through the first chapters and then stopping. I think I prolonged my struggle with self-hatred, made myself learn the hard way instead of making progress years ago when I had help and insight in my hands. I want to spend the rest of the time today talking about changing and how to do it. I want to give you some tools to take home. It's frustrating when someone tells you you need to change, and then they don't tell you how to do it. When you leave here today, I want you to have hope in your heart, a spark that won't fade in the days to come. Change isn't easy, but I want to give you something to hold on to. Not only is it possible, it's worth it. Did you know emotions are not your enemy? I went around fighting, resisting my emotions for a long time. They were what made me defective, I thought. But emotions are a gift. They are messengers of truth that tell us about our underlying beliefs. Has anyone ever told you, use your brain? Well, now I'm telling you, use your emotions. Glennon Doyle wrote about emotions as delivery men in her book, Untamed. For instance, she described anger as someone ringing the doorbell and delivering a package. If we open the package, we discover that anger is telling us where a boundary was crossed. Something important to us was violated. And if we look into what that was, we see something else. We see an underlying belief about ourselves. We can see where it came from and and how it got there. We can evaluate its truth and decide our next step. Does our boundary need to be validated and reinforced? Or does that underlying belief need to be rewritten? We can then respond to whatever activated the anger with new grace and understanding. In the moment, we might be reacting the same old way. But as soon as we recognize what is happening, we can stop, take some time, change our response. All emotions are telling us something true about ourselves or about the way we think of ourselves. Allowing it space to do its job is how we can stop resisting. The needful thing right now to understand is that emotions are useful. They can be trusted. Following what your emotions are telling you and dealing with the packages they deliver is the surest way of arriving at peace. We have been taught that emotions lead to chaos, but that's not true. We need to balance our intellect with our emotions, not too much of either one. Most of us are so out of balance intellectually, we really need to lean in to our emotions. And they do lead to peace. If you start following your heart, your life won't look the same. You'll make changes based on the truth of who you are and what you believe. Those old patterns of self-destruction will be replaced by love and self-care. It will begin a period of transformation for you. This is my life right now. One big transformation. You will come out changed from the bottom up. Another element of change is forgiveness. As humans, we all make mistakes and do things that are harmful to others. Many times we're doing the best we can with the resources we have. Everyone has a voice in their head telling them what to do. A lot of us never realize it's lies and are controlled by it our entire lives. How would our parents have acted differently if they knew the truth about themselves, that they are part of the divine and love is their inheritance? How would you have acted differently in the past if you knew this? How would our forgiveness isn't excusing someone else's bad behavior or your own. It isn't forgetting either. It's feeling compassion and a level of understanding for what they or you we're feeling and believing in the moment. It's a softening, an accepting of what happened without trying to change it or make a judgment. Resistance, non-acceptance, creates pain. So the goal is to accept what happened, learn from it, move forward. Learning self-love happens now, in the moment. Whenever we feel turmoil, whenever we have a knee-jerk reaction, whenever we judge ourselves or others, we are departed from the moment. We are instead living in the past or acting out the future. We need to return to the moment and evaluate what is happening. Change happens now, not tomorrow. If you're waiting until you find love to feel good about yourself, it's not going to happen. You may find someone who loves you, but still be unable to live with yourself. Then you will find it difficult to accept the love they are offering you. Decide to do the work now. Return to the moment again and again, as many times as necessary. You will find love for yourself and peace. How most of us live life is like speeding along the highway at 55 miles an hour. We're in a hurry to get where we're going. The terrain we're passing through is irrelevant. We just want to reach our destination. What's your destination? Is it love? Being thin? Finding a better job? Me telling you to live in the moment is like reducing speed to 45 miles an hour when you hit the edge of town. It's painfully slow. Then you have to slow down to 35. And then you hit a school zone and you slow down even more. Traffic stops. And in order to keep going, you have to get out and walk. Life has a way of slowing us down. We're still desperate to get where we're going, and slowing down so much chafes at us. We don't see anything as we're walking. We're still focused on the destination or where we've already been. Living in the moment is like suddenly stopping in your tracks. Something, maybe a rose, has caught your attention. Everything else fades as you study the rose. Its form, its color, its scent as you lean closer. You feel the warmth of the sun, the coolness of a slight breeze. Suddenly, you realize that this moment is where you have everything you need. It's the only thing that really exists, and there's nowhere else more important to be. So the next time you catch yourself rushing through life, purposefully slow down. Stop and examine your emotions. Challenge the narrative of the voice. Maybe it feels dangerous to you to be in the moment. Maybe you feel jumpy and uncomfortable. When you're in the moment, there is no space between you and the voice, between you and your emotions. You might feel a lot like Miss Muffet sitting down to a bowl of curds and whey. A spider comes along and scares you away. I certainly feel jumpy when a spider is around. What if it crawls on me? Ugh. What if it bites me? What if I die? The voice and our emotions can certainly feel scary. Facing them can feel dangerous, almost like risking your life. As ugly and hateful as they can feel, the voice and our emotions don't have the power to destroy us. The voice loses its power when you stop believing it, and our emotions begin to work for us when we start connecting with them. You don't have to be afraid. Stop running away. Tell that spider to back off, or stay and look at it. See its stateliness in spite of your fear. Living in the moment takes practice, but you can learn to do it with much more consistency over time. The results are worth the effort. The results are total transformation. A few minutes ago, I mentioned forgiveness. What I said is nothing new. We have been told the same thing about forgiveness for a very long time. Recently, I read a book recommended to me by Margaret Cheesebrough, Radical Forgiveness by Colin C. Tipping. It says that the traditional view of forgiveness fails to bring spiritual healing because it preserves the view of ourself as a victim. Remember what I said about what I believe? I said, I believe in a metaphysical connectedness between all of us on a soul level. We are all children of God, and we all have a divine spark as our inheritance. On a soul level, we are made of love and exist in wholeness. We are interconnected, and everything we do affects the whole. I also said, I believe we charted our lives before we were born. I believe in the other side, where we come from and where we go back to after we die. I believe our souls are eternal and that we can choose to live multiple lives. Why would we do that? You can think of life as a school if you wish, where we learn lessons and experience life for God. You can also think of life as a game, where you hide your divinity from yourself in the first part and then rediscover it in the second part. I also said that I believe major events were agreed upon by both parties in advance. Picture being on the other side before you were born. Imagine the planning that took place, the meeting with other souls and discussing details. I have this plan for my life. I want you to play this role for me to help me meet my goal. I will do that for you because I love you. Can you imagine? There is no such thing as a mistake or even true harm because you agreed on it beforehand. Therefore, only love and perfection exists. In a world where events were planned before you were born, not haphazardly or maliciously, everything is helping you get where you want to be. Whether it's a lesson you want to learn or something wonderful you want to discover, it's all good. You can heal by accepting what happens now and know that when you get back to the other side, it's all going to make sense. So radical forgiveness is the concept that there is nothing to forgive. Not when it comes to yourself or anyone else. I hope this helps you see the world with greater love and compassion. So I've outlined the door to a new way of living today. It's a process that takes time. Truly, it could be said to be ongoing throughout life. It's a journey, a transformation. So be willing to change. Listen to your emotions. Live in the moment. And practice radical forgiveness. Namaste.
Can I add one more thing? Never forget to laugh.
Right.
Never forget what?
Never forget to laugh.
Never forget to laugh.
Don't take yourself so seriously and you will laugh.
What'd you say, Ron?
I said this, don't take yourself so seriously and it will not be as heavy on you. All right. Thank you, Shaye. What a wonderful message.
Thank you.
Does anyone have anything they'd like to share with Shaye? Yeah.
That's something I want to share with everybody. Shaye, I think that was a wonderful talk. I resonate with a lot of the things. Hayes's book speaks of that eighth chakra, the one above your crown chakra. And I look at that when I do my meditation as a portal. And that's where I entered after I made the contract for what I would do in this life with my soul families, with the soul families on the other side on the other side. And you come through the portal, and then you live this life, and that you get your energy, you're returning life force energy, they're giving you light, love, and grace. And so many things you said resonate very much with me. And yes, Jerry, we all have that voice inside of us, that ego, and it beats us down unendingly, and our goal is to put it aside. God bless you.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
Anyone else?
Shaye, that was timeless message. So good to hear it from such a fresh viewpoint as you have presented it. Those of us that have been along the path here and think that we're getting a handle on it, we're like approaching that horizon, but it's only an illusion because the horizon keeps going further and further beyond. So
It's like a mirage.
A mirage, yeah, that's what I heard today, yes. But Ron and I have been in rooms where we've talked about that voice in our head, that ego. With us, we sometimes can talk about it as being a committee, so it's even more confusing. And I wake up some mornings with that committee talking in the background, and it's really good to hear, especially about Louise Hay. I've read her book many years ago, and I'm going to find it again and read it again because it is very instructive, and you're right, it does have a nice, concise order of steps to follow. And it's good to refresh ourselves no matter what age we're at. So I thank you.
Thank you, Steve. Anyone else? Well, it was a wonderful message, and we appreciate it. And words to live by. Words to love by. So it was really, really useful and timely and really good. We thank you, Shaye, for that message. And we're just really pleased that that you are finding yourself in that place this time, because sharing with you, you've had some dark times, that most of us have, and you've had some really dark ones, and we're just really delighted that you are out in the light and you're enjoying this love that you have for yourself. Thank you so much. Okay, I think that Margaret probably has another song for us. God Always Helps. Number 112. No, that's not it. Already did that one. We're going to do Free at Last, right?
I'll sing it when I feel like singing. I'll cry when I have to cry, like a little
Thank you very much.
I can just hear Jane singing that. So wonderful.
All right, so now it's time for our celebration of abundance. So if you'll place over your heart that's what you intend to contribute, then repeat after me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and intensifies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Through infinity, I am prosperous. There you go. And as we're doing that, Steve is passing around the basket. I'd like to remind everyone that we have a book study on Sunday morning between 8:45 and 9:45. And that comes to you in Zoom, or you could be here in person, your choice. The youth group meets from 10 to 11 on Sundays, and it's led by Rhonda Livingston, who we appreciate greatly. Her efforts with the children. And of course, Miracles is at 6:10 a.m. on Mondays, facilitated by Yvette and Jerry Lard via Zoom. Power of Eight is on 8 o'clock at 6:30 on Thursdays, and it's coordinated by Margaret Cheesebro via Zoom. So you have a lot of opportunities to interact with Fellowship of Spirit and multiply your blessings and your information. So take advantage of it. We're there it's absolutely free, cost you nothing, except maybe just a little ego reduction, and I need that. So, all right, so we now have our children, and we're fixing the, there. Okay, so come forward, children.
Today we painted pumpkins. And today we're going to be reading about self-love and empowerment. I'm not perfect, I know I'll never be. I'll strive for perfection, something I'll never have. Society wants perfection, even when it says it doesn't. Just look at ads, movies, even when vegetables have to look good for stores to sell them. How can anyone or anything ever be good enough when held up against something unachievable? Something not even the seemingly perfect people have or are, something we all know is impossible, but we have heard that everything is possible. So some of us never give up, and it will never make us happy. It will never happen. The only way to accept imperfections, accept not being perfect, accept being cute, accept being different, and accept life as it is. I'm not saying give up on your dreams. I'm saying don't make yourself something you're not. This ideal that you have in your head that is unattainable, this person that's so perfect, that's moving towards, it becomes an obsession and addiction. Towards unhappiness, low self-esteem, depression, and never feel good enough, no matter what you do or how hard you try. I know it's cliche, but love yourself.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely important. Thank you, girls. Okay. We have some more announcements you want to make?
We had talked last week
we see that this person obviously needs clothes. The school's been giving them food, stuff like that. So that's where I'm gonna lean towards trying to find our families. And I'm only asking early so that I have plenty of time to vet through these families and make sure, like I said, that they really need what we're willing to give.
Do we have a couple of months
Yes,
until December?
Well,
Yep.
really, this is our major benevolence, so I think we probably should stay at the 1,000.
We
I
generally try to do around $100 per child. That's a gift and a couple of items of clothing.
right,
So if you set an amount, she can find the number of kids that will fit in that amount.
all right,
So how about if we do up to 1,000, according to the needs of the families that you find? How's that?
that works for me. You know, because as Mother said, we usually buy clothing, at least one school-worthy outfit, one set of pajamas, at least 1 or 2 gifts per child. And then if I have anything left, I go to either Smith's or Walmart and I get gift cards for the turkey, the ham. But I am able through Walmart to put restrictions. So I make sure that there is no tobacco, no alcohol purchase. It has to be food purchase. That's how we've usually done it in the past. That way we're helping the kids, but we're also helping mom and dad to make sure that there's food on their table for Christmas.
All right.
Okay? Perfect. All right, thanks, guys.
So the suggestion on the floor is up to $1,000. Are we all in agreement?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, one other item, Shaye is going to talk to you about a suggestion she has for solstice. We haven't done anything for solstice, winter solstice in a long time, and she has a thought.
Yeah, so winter solstice this year is a Saturday. And so I thought it would be nice if we got together that Saturday evening, time to be determined, have a little get together with food, maybe an activity for fun. But the main part of the evening for me would be a ceremony where you write down what you're ready to let go of from this year. Whatever you want to just be done with in your life, you write it down on a piece of paper, have a burn that paper, be done with it. And then write on another piece of paper what you want to bring in with the new year. So that ceremony is very meaningful to me. It's something that I do myself, and I just wanted to share it with everybody.
Burning ceremony.
I love
Good.
that idea.
That's a good
Really
idea.
good.
We've
What
done
was that date again?
Saturday, the 21st?
21st of
Saturday the
November.
21st.
No, December.
Oh, December.
Yeah, December 21st.
All right.
Okay, who's in the mood for a solstice gathering?
Oh, I'd love
Oh,
that.
yeah. It's been a while.
Okay, I think we could do that then. I'll get a hold of Christine and she'll send out notices on it and we'll post it on our Facebook and stuff. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything.
That it?
I think the one thing that Shaye was trying to get across is the fact that it's kind of like a community thing, the solstice. And so I really like that idea. I really do. We
Yeah.
haven't done anything community-wise.
We can bring in a little portable burning pit that we have to
We
do
can
it
do that.
outside. Yeah.
Put it out on the porch, yeah.
Yeah,
And I think a potluck would be kind of
I
nice.
think it'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Soup or stew or cornbread or,
Very nice.
something along in that line, something light. Anyway, thank you all.
Hot apple cider.
Thank you, all of you who contributed. Bill Clark with our closing message. Hold it there.
You gonna turn the computer?
Yeah, Bill,
Thank
here
you.
you go.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Today's topic is a perfect friend. We shall never have friends if we expect to find them without fault. Thomas Fuller. Do we ever rule out friendship with somebody because some personal flaw we've seen in them? Is it good to be careful about the character of those we choose for close friendship, but sometimes we're a little too quick with our judgments? We may miss out on a friendship that could bring us a fresh perspective into our lives. If we are impossible to please, we may find ourselves enjoying our high standards alone. The walkaway is, when I'm making new friends, I can balance my desire for certain characteristic traits, qualities, with a gracious understanding that people are not perfect. Boy, that's true for all of us. God bless and have a great week.
Thank you, thank you. All right. So now let's gather up and
Let's go sing. You ready to sing? Yeah, let's go sing.
Camera here, if you want it.
Hi.
That's okay. We're not in a rush.
no rush, no rush. Safety is our first demand. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Weave us together, weave us together in unity and love. Weave us together, weave us together in unity and yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. Yes, there is peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as our Father, family all are we. So let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every breath I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me. May God bless you and keep you until we meet again.
Linda, right? I think her name was Linda.
Alona.
We hope that you will enjoyed our presentation today, and hope that you will come and be with us next week at 10 o'clock on Sunday morning. Goodbye and have a good, safe week.
I hope so.
Good, good, we're looking forward.